Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be updating you on some more current news. This is now regarding 17-year-old Angel Gomes now for Manchester United, one of the youth players for Manchester United. Apparently now he has yet to sign a professional contract for Manchester United. Well, his first professional contract is currently stalled at this moment in time. He was supposed to be due to signing this on his 17th birthday, but this currently never ever materialised. So Manchester United may be concerned that he could maybe leave maybe Manchester United next summer or something like that. But the press are reporting that Barcelona are interested interested in the player. I think also Juventus are also interested in Angel Gomes as yet, but he's the first player that has only made one debut for Manchester United. I think it was last season. He's the youngest player to make his debut. This is actually since Duncan Edwards is Angel Gomes. Yes, he's an attacking midfielder, as we all know. But you know, Gomes had joined Manchester United academy. You know, at the age of 6. He's now 17. You know, he signed a formal contract at the age of 13. Did Angel Gomes, but he could be due now to sign his first professional contract with the club at 17 years of age. He represented the under-17s on trial during a tournament in Slovakia in October 2013 before signing for the club in May 2014. So, you know, he wasn't, you know, he wasn't an irregular starter, you know, for before, you know, for the under-18s. You know, he was regularly named as a substitute. Was Angel Gomes, as we all know. You know, and he was actually voted the most valuable player at Manchester United Premier Cup, if you all remember that. Yeah, do you remember that, guys? Yeah, and he did back in 2001, was it as well? He became the youngest player to score a hat-trick in at the academy level since 2001, sorry, not in 2001. But yes, Barcelona apparently interested, Juventus apparently interested. He's an attacking midfielder, as we all know. He is small as well. But yeah, he's good at skillfully. He's good in the air. He can dictate the game. I've what I've watched of him as well. But he's only made one appearance for the first team as Angel Gomes. So he has not yet signed his professional contract as Angel Gomes yet. It's still there on the table for him to sign it, but he's still not yet signed. And I'd be disappointed if Angel Gomes was to go, considering he's only young. You know, he needs. You know, I want him to rise up the ranks. You know, even more. And I don't want him to go, guys. I don't want him to go because we know Jose Mourinho, you know, has got quite a few, as I did say, you know, players in the squad. A few young ones. He's bolted our youth academy up, you know, as he did in the window. Got quite a few youth players in now, and as I did say, you know, I was disappointed, you know, of Pereira going on loan to Valencia as well. You know, he's already made 2 appearances for Valencia now as Pereira. I was disappointed that he left on loan because obviously he knows, did Pereira, that he wasn't going to get regular first team football, you know, under Jose Mourinho. And Jose Mourinho did insist he should fight for his place, Andres Pereira. He was disappointed. He said you know, it wasn't the best decision. His best decision. He wasn't very satisfied about Pereira going Jose Mourinho, but he did, and I thought he had an impressive Pereira pre-season with Manchester United, but didn't get a game with Manchester United this season, which I didn't think he basically would anywhere, Pereira. And just before he left, it was on Spanish deadline day, he did go to Valencia. It was basically before he just left. He signed a 2-year deal with Manchester United. So we still do have the option to get Andres Pereira back in January. And we know he's a player that had been at Manchester United. I think he'd been at Man United for. He'd been at Manchester United about 6 years. He'd been at Man United about 6 years. We know in that 6 years, you know, last season went to Grenada on loan, made 35 appearances there on loan and scored 5 goals. And then Man United got him back and he made, I think he's like basically only made like, all in all, 5 starts for the first team anywhere as Andres Pereira. But it was a shame to lose him, but I just felt as though, you know, he wants first team football, you know, and Jose Mourinho explained, you know, he's a player that wants to play week in, week out, but he's probably ain't gonna get that at Manchester United. So we could still go for the get the player back in January if necessary. So I wouldn't want to lose Angel Gomes. I don't want to lose another youngster. Oh well, obviously we know Pereira's 21, but he's still kind of a youngster, and Angel Gomez is only 17 years of age, so I wouldn't like to lose him, especially guys. I wouldn't like to lose him. So I just wanted to update you on that, because HeungMin has bolstered our youth squad, which is very very good. And I've got some latest news, guys, to update you on Antoine Griezmann. Now the press are reporting that apparently Barcelona had been interested in the player. And apparently, the press are reporting that I didn't even know about this. This is from the TalkSport. If it's true or not, I don't know. That Barcelona put 124 million bidding for Griezmann, but it had been turned down by Atletico Madrid. And this is what reports are suggesting from Spain, that 124 million bid had been rejected. I think Griezmann has got is it a 100 million release clause, or is it a 92 million release clause that Man United are looking to do in January, or maybe next summer for Griezmann. Apparently now the press are reporting Real Madrid have showed their interest in Antoine Griezmann as well, but I think he would want to make the move to Manchester United. I think, he estimated 6 out of 10 he was coming to Old Trafford, but obviously due to the transfer ban, he had that guilty conscience, because Atletico Madrid couldn't find a replacement. But with Real Sociedad, that's where he's risen up the ranks fantastically well. With Real Sociedad, I think he nearly made 2 century appearances for Real Sociedad. He did score about 50, was it 50 odd goals? Oh no, I think he did make 2 century appearances for Real Sociedad in all competitions, but about 180 just in La Liga, and he scored about 52 goals for them. He won the title with them as well. He's won French Player of the Year, La Liga Best Player, La Liga Player of the Month. And since he's been at Atletico Madrid, I think he's been there 3 or 4 years now. He's now and he did score on Atletico Madrid's debut. Atletico Madrid had scored their first goal on their new stadium that they have currently got as well the other day, if I can remember rightly. And Griezmann had scored in that game as well. But overall for Atletico Madrid, I think he's made, well, in La Liga, I think he's made about 112 appearances and he scored about 61 goals or something like that. But as I was saying, he did confirm this could be Griezmann's last season with Atletico Madrid. I think he's had discussions with Diego Simeone, and especially if John O'Blanc was to leave the club, Antoine Griezmann would want to leave the club anyway. He did sign a new deal, Griezmann, back in June as well, and I think he regretted that he didn't join Manchester United. After the Swansea game when he beat Swansea 4-0, he had an angry emoji, he had a sad emoji. That he regretted it, and him and Paul Pogba have a fantastic relation as well. But he'd be fantastic for that number 7 spot, because we've had loads of number 7s. We had George Best there, Ronaldo there, Cantona, Brian Robson, as Di Maria, Depay. But he'd be absolutely fantastic with Griezmann in the process of it. And he's just an absolute prolific goal scorer. Probably one of the best in the world is Antoine Griezmann. But apparently Manchester United have he did say the other day we've set aside £100 million, so that'll be enough to activate Antoine Griezmann's release clause. And the only reason we didn't get him before, it was due to the transfer ban, why we didn't get currently Griezmann, and that's basically the only reason why we didn't get him. So yeah, but it says here Barcelona had been interested, and now apparently Real Madrid are interested in the player as well. But Man United may go for the player next summer or in January when the Atletico Madrid's transfer ban is gone, because we know they've had that transfer ban of Atletico Madrid. But I think Griezmann did admit that that he did want to basically make the move to Manchester United, and I think Jose Mourinho is going to go for him next summer. And he'd be absolutely fantastic in that number 7 spot with Griezmann. So just see what happens in the process of it. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's anything else to update you guys on. And as I did report, the other earlier on was about Benzema from Real Madrid, as it did say, Real Madrid, Stamboul, and the Spanish publication, had reported about Benzema well, saying that they would be keen to offload the player. Real Madrid had only bought 2 players in the August window, but they're keen on investing more money and getting more players into the club. They may want to get a few youngsters into the club, to be quite fair, with Real Madrid, because they've got Ronaldo's now aging up, they've got Benzema, even not Benzema, Bale as well aging up. But yeah, apparently it did say the keen on Dan Ball, Spanish publication, reported the keen on offloading Benzema for about £44 million. Maybe his deal expires in 2019, and Real Madrid are now heavily linked with Alexis Sanchez now. From Arsenal was coming to an end of his deal, as I did update you earlier, and he could become will become a free transfer next summer. Would Alexis Sanchez in the prospect? I said, Benzema, Real Madrid are looking for another striker. Obviously, as I said, he risen up the ranks with Lyon. He was there for a good few years. Was it 4 or 5 years? I think he was at Lyon. He made all in all 148 appearances and scored 66 goals. And Real Madrid, I think he's been there now 8 or 9 years as Benzema. He's made 247 appearances in La Liga and scored 122 goals. All in all, 371 appearances and scored 181 goals. In the process, as Benzema, he won the La Liga won quite a few times with Lyon back in his day. Real Madrid, though, he's won the La Liga with Real Madrid twice, Copa del Rey a couple of times, Champions League 3 times, Super Cup 3 times, and he's won the FIFA Club World Cup quite a few times as well as the player, and he's been voted French Player of the Year before, so he's very quick, he's very agile, he's a very good prolific goal scorer. Benzema so far this season, Benzema is he's made 3 starts. He hasn't scored this season. He did score 11 goals last season in 29 appearances for Real Madrid. But yeah, apparently Real Madrid may be keen to offload him if they're to get Alexis Sanchez. And I do keep saying about Alexis Sanchez, he wanted to make the move. City is still convinced they can get a deal wrapped up for him, considering City spent a lot of money in the transfer window. They've got a quality team. They've had a fantastic start to the season. They've got Pep Guardiola there, who was a successor with Barcelona. They've got Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker, probably still generated as one of the best right backs in the Premier League at least. They've got Mendy at the other flank. So they've invested a lot of money in the window in Manchester City, but still keen that they can get Alexis Sanchez. They were disappointed that they didn't get a Sanchez, Manchester City, but apparently Real Madrid are interested in it. It says the agent of Sanchez has been in discussions with Real Madrid. And Florentino Perez has approached Sanchez's representatives over getting a deal finalised. And Sanchez would come cheap. He's probably available for £20 million in January. Because he's coming to an end of his deal. He's refused signing a new deal with Arsenal. He has been there now 4 years. He's won 3 FA Cups 4 seasons with Arsenal. He risen up the ranks with underneath. Arsenal bought him £35 million, as we all know. But Pep Guardiola is keen on reuniting with Sanchez, and Sanchez is keen on reuniting with him. But apparently, the press actually were reporting that he may now prefer the move to Real Madrid. But some reports still saying he could still go to Manchester City. But obviously, we know Arsenal couldn't get that replacement. That's why they didn't let Sanchez go, because they went for Lamar, didn't get him. They had 2 bids turned down for Lamar. Raheem Sterling had come to a conclusion. I think they had that interest in Julian Jackson as well. Didn't materialise. So Arsenal invested a lot of money. They only bought 1 player in the window, and that was Lacazette. Obviously, he's doing very well for Arsenal. But Arsenal still need more in their current team. But Sanchez, he did quote, he wants Champions League football. His first time in 2 decades, Arsenal not had Champions League football. That's a record. This is 20 years Arsenal not had Champions League football. Hopefully, Arsenal wanted him to stay, so they could have a good season, do well in the Europa League and progress back into the Champions League. But so far, the way it's gone this season for Arsenal, it hasn't looked very good. But dramatically, since the Liverpool defeat, they've improved in the last 3 games. They improved in the Bournemouth, Cologne, and the Chelsea game at the weekend. But they've lost quite a few decent players. And Ozil could still potentially make the move. He's another player at Arsenal that is coming to an end of his deal as well. It did say, apparently with Ozil, he was keen on reuniting with Jose Mourinho after they were fantastic together with Real Madrid, because we know Ozil had been at Real Madrid for 3 years. Arsenal had bought him £45 million from Real Madrid, and now he's been there 4 years. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal as Mesut Ozil, but I think he's been demanding a higher wage in his contract in his salary as a Mesut Ozil, just like Sanchez did. He turned down 300,000. He was initially demanding £400,000 a week. Was like Sanchez and Ozil had been demanding more as well. But I think he started 2 or 3 games so far this season. I don't think he participated in the Chelsea game at the weekend. But Ozil at Real Madrid had actually made just over a century of appearances. I think he provided about 47 assists, and he bagged 19 goals for Real Madrid. But apparently there's been no discussions between Arsenal and Ozil of securing Ozil a new deal since February. This is what the press had reported, and Jose Mourinho was willing to prepare to have talks regarding Mesut Ozil, who could become a free transfer next summer. I know Barcelona had been linked with him. Borussia Dortmund had an interest just before the window shut. And he's a player, he hasn't got a good record, as I said, against the big teams, but he's a player that is really good at providing assists, and he's a player that has created the most opportunities since his arrival in the Premier League in 2013. So he's a good technical attacking midfielder, and he's a very, very good playmaker as well in the process of it. But the same with Sanchez. I said he wanted Champions League football, so I think Sanchez will go in January. I think Arsenal will soften their stance because Wenger has been very, very ruthless regarding Sanchez. I think he will leave. They'll allow him to leave as long as Arsenal can get that replacement for the player. So that's all that matters to Arsenal. They still need replacements for the departures of Chamberlain, Kieran Gibbs and Gabriel. So that's what you've got to take into consideration. As I did say, Real Madrid, are also interested in a said Harry Kane. I don't think it's a main priority target, but it is used there as a plan B. Harry Kane, he's probably one of the best in Premier League. Will Lukaku, I think they're the top 2 strikers, as I said, in the Premier League. I think Tottenham may be reluctant and resist to offload the player, but I think from the player's perspective, even Harry Kane wouldn't want to leave Tottenham anyway. He's won the Golden Boot the last couple of years. His performances have been fantastic. He's actually scored 8 goals now for Tottenham. This is in the Premier League, but in all competitions, he has bagged over a century of goals. I think it is now 103, and he scored his 100th goal against Everton, did Harry Kane. He's won the Golden Boot for the last couple of years. Last season, he made 30 appearances and scored 29 goals. Season before, he made 38 appearances and scored 25 goals. And this season so far, I think in all competitions, he's scored 10 goals or something like that. It might be 10 goals. But in the league, I think he's only scored 2 so far this season. Obviously, we know Rashford has scored more than him so far this season in the league. Martial scored more than Kane so far this season in the league. So you can tell from our perspective, Rashford and Martial are performing very, very well. But Kane, as I said, he's been at Leicester on loan. He's been at a few teams on loan. He's been at Leicester. He's been at Norwich where he didn't score a senior goal. I think he's been at Leighton Orient on loan as well as Harry Kane. But he's just, he did struggle in the Tottenham academy, but he's risen up the ranks fantastically well. And look at what Kane's turned out to be, for Tottenham in the last 2 or 3 years. With him playing at the club. He could used to be able to operate as a midfielder, I thought, but now he's a striker. He's a prolific goal scorer. And, Tottenham have found it hard at Wembley. They haven't won a game yet at Wembley in the league. But and Kane did score twice against Borussia Dortmund. But away from home, Tottenham are doing very, very well. And this is probably one of the best Tottenham teams I've seen for absolutely years. Because I think Dele Alli's class. I think Son's very, very good for Tottenham as well. And they've been consistent the last couple of years. And they've been unlucky not too early in that league, but apparently Real Madrid have showed an interest in him as well, and I think he's basically used that as a plan B. Is Harry Kane. I'm just gonna basically now. I'm gonna actually check the league. Can't remember the name. I'll just call it the FL Cup. We'll just look at the scores now before we get into some more news. Yes, you've got Brentford 1, Norwich 3, Oh, you've got Leicester that have beaten Liverpool. That's a very, very shock. I said 2-0 in my prediction. And as I did say, with Liverpool, as I did say, since I did actually beat Arsenal, I did say they've been struggling, and I said they're always going to leak goals, and they need to invest. Klopp's a good manager. I don't like Liverpool, obviously, but I think Klopp's a good manager, but Leicester have beaten Liverpool 2-0, and that is a shock. That is actually a shock, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I didn't expect that because, Liverpool had drew Watford, Liverpool had beat Palace, Liverpool had beaten they'd beaten Arsenal comfortably by 4-0, and since then Liverpool have gone downhill. They drew with Sevilla, they drew with Burnley at the weekend, and they've lost tonight, so they're out of the cup as well. But Liverpool have got the likes of Mane that's been suspended 3 games, as I said. Got the likes of Salah. They've got they've got like Saka, what's his name? Saka left Liverpool, Origi left Liverpool. Still will need replacements for them. Obviously, they've got Naby Keita confirmed for next summer. But Liverpool, again, falling to pieces, as I said, Let's just see if actually did Coutinho participate in this game. We'll have a look. If I can see this lineup, nothing's available on that. But yeah, Leicester beat Liverpool 2-0. So Liverpool are really, really struggling now. Philip Coutinho could still leave Liverpool in January. He could still leave next summer. But Liverpool were just reluctant and were resisted to basically offload the player. Liverpool will go for Van Dijk in January, I should presume, as well. But they did have a good start to the season, but they've just seemed to collapse in the last 2-3 games. Coutinho's only made 1 appearance this season for Liverpool, well, from the start, because he'd come on in their game against Sevilla. But Liverpool are a good attacking team. They are a good attacking team, but just they just lack in the defence. And that's the most important thing. You've got to have a good attack in your team, and you've got to have a good defence. Basically, like Manchester City, they've got a very, very good defence. You know what I mean? So this is what I mean. And you've got the other results here. You've got West Ham beating Bolton 3-0 as well. Because we know West Ham have had a really, really lacklustre start to the campaign, as they did. I think this is second win now in the process, beating Huddersfield the other week, and now beating Bolton in the Cup. As you would have expected, Bolton in the Championship, West Ham in the Premier League. And they did spend quite a bit of money in the window. They got a few decent players in. They got Hernandez, the ex-Man United player, Joe Hart on loan, Zabaleta as well. They got Orphanage as well. Did West Ham. So yeah, West Ham beat Bolton in the next round. Wolves 0, Bristol Rovers 0. That's Connacht Town. Not bothered about that. Got Reading 0, Swansea 1 here. You got Tottenham 1, Barnes 0. That's a shock. Tottenham struggling at Wembley, as I do keep saying. They are struggling at Wembley at Tottenham, as I did say. Dele Alli's got the goal, but to be only 1-0 up against the poor Barnsley team, that's a very, very bad shock. And they're struggling at Wembley at Tottenham. They are really, really struggling. I just don't think they're used to playing there. I think they're just waiting until they basically get the new stadium. You've got Crystal Palace that have won 1-0 against Huddersfield. Roy Hodgson's first win now in charge of the club, which is good news for these Palace fans. But they're still yet to score a goal at Palace in the Premier League. But they have beaten Huddersfield, because they did lose Huddersfield on the opening day of the season 3-0, I think. So yes, you've got Burnley Leeds, which is 2-2 here. That looks an entertaining game, Considering Leeds have had a pretty decent start to the Championship, I'm going to be quite fair. They haven't been in the Premier League basically since 2004. So they haven't been, in the Premier League for 13 years, which is, well, actually over a decade. But Burnley, yes, Chris Wood scores against his former team, and he's really, really hitting form for Burnley. He's Chris Wood, if I am going to be quite honest with you, he's really, really hitting form for Burnley. But Leeds did lose to Millwall, but all can happen in a Burnley and Leeds game. I did, in my prediction, say Burnley would win, considering that they've had a good start to the Premier League campaign, joining with Tottenham, joining with Liverpool, and getting a result at Stamford Bridge. So I favoured Burnley, but looks like this game's extra time by the looks of things. So you've got minutes here. You got Leeds to the lead in the 80th minute, and then you've got Chris Wood who equalised in the 89th minute, and then you've got Paulo Hernandez who put Leeds ahead in the 90th minute, and then you've got Brady that equalised in the 90th minute. So, 3 goals in no time in that situation, in that game. Let's just have a look at more if there's out else. Let me just go back on the bleeding matches here. Yes, they're in extra time in the Burnley game at Turf Moor. You've got Norwich who beat Brentford 3-1. Bristol City beat Stoke 2-0. Now that is a very, very shock. That's a shock. That is a shock, but I'm not too bothered about it. And yeah, that's about it. That's it for the League Cup anyway. We've got other results here. What's this? You got Barcelona 2-0 against Alba. Top of the league, Barca flying in Spain. Messi scoring again. I think this is now his 9th or 10th goal this season for Barcelona already. Bagged 37 goals last season. I'm not too bothered about all going through all the leagues, but I'd just like to see what's going on in the latest scores. So yeah, guys, that's really about it. So yeah, so we've got in the League Cup today. You've got Bournemouth and Brighton 0-0, that's extra time. You've got Middlesbrough that beat Aston Villa 2-0 at Villa Park. You've got Norwich who won at Brentford 3-1, so these are in the next round. You've got Bristol City that beat Stoke 2-0, which is a sock next round. Burnley Leeds extra time 2-2 so far. Palace in the next round beat Huddersfield 1-0. West Ham won 3-0. Wolves Bristol Rovers 0-0 extra time. Reading 0, Swansea 2. Looks like, yes, Swansea haven't finished yet, but obviously they're going to be through. And Tottenham 1, Barnsley 0, so it looks like they're going to be through as well. For me, so yeah, guys, that's really bad. That's just the results, so the latest scores and the results to update you in the League Cup. So yeah, and let's see if there's any more news, guys. Just see if there's any more news on this. That's all I can do. Just see if there's any more news. I don't think there is. Just saying about Lewandowski's no plans now to leave Bayern Munich. He's got a contract to 2021, but obviously, I don't think he's any intention of leaving. But Lewandowski had actually criticised Bayern Munich for their lack of investment in the transfer window of not getting enough players into the team. But he has been there the 3 years. I think his preferred destination for us to leave would be Real Madrid, as I did say. He's got a contract to 2021. I've already updated you anyway on the latest news about Robert Lewandowski. It said Manchester City are also interested in the player. But he's strong, he's quick, he's very agile, he's very good in the air. I do really, really like him, but he's 29 now. He's aging up. He's Robert Lewandowski, but they may sanction him off Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich, if teams are to go for the player. He's made a century appearances now and he has scored 82 goals and he's provided 12 assists. And all in all, he's made 154 appearances, scored 119 goals and provided 30 assists as well. But he's been top scorer for Borussia Dortmund in the past. He's been top scorer for Bayern Munich. And he's won honours with Borussia Dortmund, won honours with Bayern Munich. He's just a very, very good player.
Shall I let you go down, but I'm off to bed.
Alright.
Right, don't be up all night, so I won't be off
All
about
right.
9 in the morning.
Where you off bed?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, he's got a contract to 2021 with Bayern Munich, and he just basically criticised them for their lack of investment in the window. So whether he leaves or not, Lewandowski, I do not know. And he's earned 88 caps for Poland as well as Robert Lewandowski. I think he scored quite a few goals this season as well for Bayern Munich as Lewandowski, and we'll see what happens in the process of that as well. But anyway, guys, that's basically everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Subscribe to my channel as always, and take it easy. And I'll see you all later. Bye.